You were saying that you played college football a little bit and
Yeah, so I played
everything.
college football. I played for 2 years in Idaho. It was a great experience, man. Learned a lot. Definitely had its ups and downs, but
Yeah,
at the end of the day, I'm glad I did it. It was a great experience and helped me, I guess, helped me shape more of the person I am today, just
yeah.
from what I learned. So it was a great experience. But
That's
yeah, man.
good. Good shit. Good shit. Well, why did you start playing football? Did you just want something to
Man.
do?
So I actually started when I was about, I think I was 6. I was a big kid, man. I was like the size of an eighth grader. Don't might not believe it now, a little shorter now, but
Grew
but yeah,
fast.
but yeah, man. So I started when I was about 5, 6, and then it was funny because they actually didn't allow, like, you had to be at least I think 7 or 8 to play, but they made an exception for me because
You
one
were
of
big,
my
big as
yeah, I was
hell.
like I was bigger than most of the kids
Mhm.
in like the range, and so my dad's best friend, shout out the Hadleys, they they made a case or whatever, and then so they were like, okay, let's see this kid. They saw me like, holy crap, this kid can, okay, he can play, and then yeah, man, that's where the love started, and then this is also my fame of not being a bandwagon,
Mm.
but my first time ever watching football. I was watching at my house and I turn on the TV and I see, shout out ball knowers here. Vince Wilfork.
Oh, okay, okay.
He's
For the Eagles, right?
Patriots. So I'm a
Patriots.
Patriots
Did he
fan.
play for the Eagles? No, I'm
No,
thinking
no.
of
So
someone else.
he's a Hall of Fame defensive tackle. He was the reason I actually like. I saw him get an interception. He was probably like 6'4", 6'3", like 370 pounds,
Yeah.
big dude, right? And I just watch him, and he's just wrecking the game. And I'm like, I'm this bigger kid. I'm looking at the screen. I'm like, I
I
look
want
at
to
my
be
dad. I'm
like
like, I
that.
want to play football.
Yeah.
I'm like, sign me up for that. That looks
Yeah.
fun. Like, I get to take my anger out. Like,
That's tough.
I get to like, I want to be like him. So that
Yeah.
was kind of where the love started. And then ever since then, I've been wanting to play, and that's where my love of the game started. So
Okay, that's cool. That's
yeah,
cool.
man. Yeah.
That's fire. Well, what what was the when did you decide not to play anymore? You said that you were in college.
Yeah. So, let's see. I know you said we get a little controversial here,
No, facts.
but I don't know, man. It was just shout out to my people in college sports. You might know too, but a lot of it's like, how high school, a lot of people say it's political.
Yeah.
Coaches got favorites, all that, and not gonna lie, they ain't wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
It kind of transfers to the college level too. Like, because when I first started, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be nothing like high school. It's gonna be nothing like that. And then I get there, I'm like, oh shit, like
It's the
it's
same.
it's kind of the same.
It's
I'm like,
no, it's definitely the
yeah,
same because there's more money involved.
more money
Like
involved.
coaches are
Yeah,
they are getting paid to basically have the best players on the field, but they also get paid for their credibility. So it's
exactly.
like
Well, yeah,
if they recruit someone and that guy's not playing, it can lower their credibility of
exactly,
how do
exactly.
they train
Well, it's
talent.
funny too because you think like, oh, the best players, they're gonna have the best players on the field. They're gonna make sure like they're doing best with what's best for the team. But it's like sometimes like
Yeah,
that
for
shit
sure.
ain't no, they don't do
No,
that. But
yeah.
I mean, I don't want to get too much into
No,
it,
facts.
but
It's
like yeah, it's
definitely like
definitely
marketability,
yeah, yeah,
popularity,
popularity,
what's gonna bring people to watch.
exactly,
Even if we're
exactly,
losing, as long as we're making money, we're gonna
yeah.
be good.
And that's the funny thing is like I was gonna go play D1, but turns out I kind of lost my love for it at the end. But like even at the lower level, because I started out, I guess yeah, where I played was College of Idaho, and
Uh-huh.
it kind of started out like NAIA, a little bit lower division. But even there, it's kind of like, ooh, like I mean, like you kind of see it like. You're like, it's supposed to be college. Like this feels a
Yeah.
lot more like high school, but
Yeah, no, I feel that.
but that's another topic.
No, yeah, no. Hey,
Yeah.
honestly, get into anything that you want to talk about. I'm just here to have a
Yeah,
conversation
man.
at the end
No,
of the
no,
day.
yeah,
But
of course, man.
I mean, well, what are some things that you really are like into, because like I said, I don't really have topics. I kind of just go off of like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
person.
man.
I do like to
Whew.
do deep, meaningful things, but it's like sometimes it doesn't
Yeah,
always have to.
start off the pod kind of
Yeah.
skin.
So it's,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes you just gotta
Um,
get it going.
let's see, man. I'm trying to think.
Like,
What
what's
would
one of the
be?
most impactful things in your life that you hold dear? I know that's kind of deep, but
Oh,
like,
we're starting off deep.
you know,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Whenever I start, I go
Man.
deep. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But
Pause.
nah. I mean, I'm talking metaphorically.
Yeah, metaphorically,
So,
metaphorically.
but no, I'm joking. But well, yeah. So like, if you look back on your life, how old are you?
I'm 23.
So in your 23 years, what do you feel like was your, like, I guess, turning point? I don't like using that
No, of
phrase,
course.
but what was the most impactful factor that shaped your life moving forward?
You know,
Turning point. I'm gonna just use
yeah,
turning point.
yeah.
What
No,
was
you're
the
good, man.
turning
You're
point
good.
in your life?
It's kind of crazy because it's like you kind of look back on it and like I know it's kind of like the typical like Utah answer, right? But it's like when I served a mission in California, it was kind of like got me outside of that Utah bubble.
Okay.
Because I've been a lot of places, I've traveled a lot, but like when you're on vacation, you don't really like.
You're not with the people. You're
No,
not
you're
with
not
the
with the
culture.
people.
Yeah.
You're not with the culture, so you're kind of just like I'm just kind of
Good vibes.
chilling,
Good
yeah,
weather.
right. But like when I was on my mission, it was really cool to kind of see like outside of the Utah bubble, and then also we can get into this too, but like how toxic the Utah bubble is, and how
Mm.
I don't know how I guess like we need to be better at making people feel welcome and included. Because
Mm.
outside of Utah, I definitely feel like it's a lot better. I mean, it's still not great. I mean, I guess with the world too, but yeah, like
Just from
it's
your
kind of
experience. At the end of the day,
yeah. It kind of made
you
me
you
Utah
gotta
can be
yeah.
toxic. Like
It's just more
low-key.
like you went on a mission and
Yeah.
you like probably, from what I'm getting from what you're saying, is you experienced a lot more, like, is it like positive interaction, or
Yeah,
is it
so
more just like a
I
family
would
wholesome
say
vibe? Or
so it was
because
really
people
cool.
coming from Cali would
Yeah.
be like, oh, it's dangerous over there, but
No,
I guess there's
no, I
there's
mean
danger
I was in San Diego, so it wasn't really anything
Oh,
crazy.
okay.
And but like and it was like I didn't go to like out of the country or anything. So like shout out all y'all. But just from my experience personally, it was really cool because I also served during COVID, and so like I kind of like at the start was like this is so pointless, this is so stupid. Like I just want to go home and like I mean I'm sure all the COVID people out there know what I'm talking about, but when I finally got past like that like stage where it's like, okay, you guys can finally start going outside, you guys can
Mm-hmm.
finally start doing all this. I feel like that's where it kind of like my life had like a turning point because I finally got to see like how people live and how people like interact and stuff like really actually outside of Utah versus
Okay.
yeah like because like you said like when you're on vacation you're not really locked in, you're kind of just doing your own thing, right?
Yeah.
But
You
it
were
was really
having you were
cool.
having everyday interactions
Yeah.
with people outside of your social norm, or
Oh yeah, well it was
the
really
way you
cool
grew up.
too. Oh yeah, because it was really cool too. I had the opportunity, so I was called English, and then about halfway through my mission, they switched me to Swahili,
Oh, dang.
and so I got to do Swahili for a while, and I got to work with a lot of Swahili people who migrated, and it was just really cool hearing their stories, how their come up and like just things that like you don't really think about as the
Yeah.
average
American.
person, American, right? Because they go like what I got going on that's hard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
That shit is nothing compared to like
Yeah,
what they
what they go
like
through, what they went through to get to
e-
where they are,
exactly,
and
bro.
like us being privileged Americans, or at least most of us, not all of us,
Yeah,
have
yeah,
that privilege. But for most people that were born and raised in America with a average lifestyle, will
yeah,
look at someone that's a refugee or an immigrant,
yeah, man.
and they're feeling very grateful and like, man, I made it so far. I'm blessed to be here. And it's like, dang, I would
Oh,
tweak out in that
no,
type of
you know
lifestyle.
what? You know what? Honestly, is really like speaking on that. I think honestly, like when you say turning point, I guess like the like start like turning point where I kind of realized everything. So we were helping a Swahili family. We helped them move like to more affordable places and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So like we always were just over like packing, helping them,
Yeah.
sending them so where they could be like have a better lifestyle. And I walk in and mom's doing the cooking, doing all that. And then I like she says hi, and like, you know, we play with they have a lot of little kids and stuff. You know, we play with them,
Yeah.
have a great time with them, and you know, we walk in, go to the living room, and I just see like I think she had 5, 6 kids,
Yeah.
and like obviously like the refugees, you know, like mom's trying doing the best she can. You know,
Yeah.
dad's stuck in Africa with some war shit going on, just some terrible
Damn.
shit. And you know, these kids are just playing with these rice bag dolls that they made homemade, and I'm just watching these kids, and I'm like, they're having the time of their lives with their siblings, just playing with these rice bag dolls. Like, sorry, like I'm like,
No, get into
I'm
it, bro.
like,
Take your
it's
time.
like really dumb. Like I'm not trying to get emotional, but like it really was humbling to see that and kind of see like how happy, I guess, like a plastic sack made those kids,
Mm.
and like how grateful they were just to even have a plastic sack. I guess
Yeah.
and then like I walk into like, I don't know, like a toy store, like Walmart, and I see like kids like freaking out that they can't have like the newest Barbie or like
Mm.
the newest game console. And like even with me, you know, I was a kid too. Like same thing with me. Like I freak out if I didn't get like the new 2K. I didn't get all this
Yeah.
new stuff, you know. And then I like walk in this house and I see all these 5 little kids just playing with these rice bags with their siblings, having the time of their life, like running around. And like that rice bag, like if you didn't know what it was in their hand and you kind of were just like they blocked their view of their hand, you kind of think they'd have like $1 million Rolex, like the way they were like loving that thing, dude. And
Yeah.
it was just like, holy crap, dude. Like I think that was the thing that like really opened my eyes, I guess, was just like how humbling that experience was, and kind of like how spoiled and grateful we should be to be in the situations we're in, because a lot of these people do not choose what not choose, but
No,
like
I know what you
you get what I
mean.
mean. Like everybody, you're just kind of born into what you're born into,
Yeah,
and then you
like
have to make do with what you have,
literally the
right?
only difference between you being born in Utah to two parents that have a financial, like good financial
Yeah,
background
yeah.
is luck.
It's luck. Yeah.
You didn't do anything to be born in that
No,
family.
I didn't like pay a fee to get to the top of the line to be,
Yeah.
you know, where I am now. I'm blessed and like living in a great spot. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, and those neither did those kids, right? So it was like it was just really humbling, I guess, just to see that and see how like ungrateful we can be. I'm by no means am I perfect too. Like I'm just talking like generally, like, us
No,
as a
no.
people in the
Again,
U.S.
that
Like,
was the
and
lesson that you learned
yeah,
with like gratitude and
yeah, I think that
humility.
was one of the most like, I think honestly like up to that point, that was probably the most like what's the word, like humility, humble
Yeah, humble.
situation. Yeah, I
Most
guess
humble.
yeah, most humbled situation. Like I've seen and been in, and it kind of made me realize like, damn, like what I got going on is like on a scale of 1 to 10 is like a negative a million to what these kids have going on.
Nah, I
Like
feel that.
those kids, like they don't know if their dad's gonna make it back alive. They don't know like
What their
yeah, what
future?
their future holds, and like they have a single mom, like they don't have any toys, like they just have these rice sacks, and I'm just like, man, like what I got going on, every time like I'm struggling, every time like I got things going on, like I just think about those kids, and it's kind of like a reminder, I guess. It's like, yeah, it sucks what I'm going through, but like hell, it could be a lot worse than
Yeah,
what's going on, you know what I mean? So
facts.
yeah, man.
No, that's fire, bro. And why do you feel like you were able to have that kind of um, outlook on that? Because some people can go on missions and they still come
Yeah,
back and either they forget or they don't have as a profound change
yeah,
and I guess we
yeah,
don't really know, right, how like profoundly you've changed. You can only express what you know, but
yeah, yeah.
why do you feel like that really affected you?
Shit, man, like um I think it just comes back to like that Utah bubble, and kind of like just like you
It
like
was
what we
more like
talked
a
about.
shock for
Yeah,
you, like
it was
you've
more
never
like a shock.
seen
Yeah,
anything like
because like, you
that.
know, like I was very blessed to be you know, adopted into a really nice family. Like I mean, I don't even. Sometimes I forget I'm adopted. Like, I love my parents so much and shit. Like,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean? Like, I was just born into a really great situation, and so like, you know, growing up, it's like I was never around that stuff,
Yeah.
and so it was kind of just like, I, I mean, like my biggest problem was not being able to get like the new iPhone, the new 2K, the
Yeah.
PS5, whatever you know, like whatever I got going on, like that was hard for me, or like I don't know, like just stuff like
I
that
see what
where
you're saying.
you know what I mean, like first world problem. Like me and my wife always joke, we're like, oh man, like she's like, oh man, my tire popped. Now I gotta pay like $2,000 for a tire or whatever, and it's just like we always make the joke. It's like, oh yeah, that's a first world problem, huh?
Or my DoorDash order.
Yeah,
came,
or my DoorDash order
came 10 minutes
Yeah.
late, and now the food is lukewarm.
Yeah.
Not lukewarm, but like it's not hot and fresh. That's a first world problem, like, bro.
Hey, shout out DoorDash. Hey, my homie, the DoorDash girl video. If you know, you know. Get well soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, but like just stuff like that where you're kind of just like the first world problems, and then you see something like that, and it kind of like is your first time seeing something where it's like it kind of makes you open up and think more about the world than the bubble you're in, and it's kind of like there is like so much more to the world, and like so many things that like we take for granted that we have, even just like cars and phones that probably like 80%, whatever, 70% of the world doesn't have, or like isn't like up to date like us. You know what I mean? So I think that's where that kind of like will open my mind a lot. So
well, there's two directions I want to go that like I guess piqued my interest. So I'm interested to know about your experience being adopted, but I'm also interested to dive deeper into like the Utah bubble and like.
Oh man, I'm ready.
well, let me just ask you, what would you like right now? What do you feel like you would be more interested in going?
I mean,
one will lead to the other.
Yeah,
probably,
we can lead. Yeah, I mean, we could do both.
Start?
We could do both. I mean, we could start with adoption, go into the Utah bubble, but yeah, man. Like, what do you want to know?
Yeah,
like, what do you want to?
Well, I have like 3 separate friends that are white, and they've adopted black kids, and it's like for me it's not weird or anything, but I do wonder like what those kids will end up feeling when they get older. I just wonder that just
no
out
of
just
course,
curiosity,
man.
I guess.
Yeah,
and they're all in great situations. Like it seems like at least these sets of parents are doing their best to really grow, like develop and teach their kids how to be good humans.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
It's cool to see that they're doing that. But from your point of view, what was your experience growing up? Did you ever feel uncomfortable being black and being adopted into a white family, knowing that like everyone can tell like bro's adopted, you can't miss it.
Okay.
So how did that feel like from your point of view?
I'm gonna break the ice a little bit here. Give you guys a little funny story.
Bet.
So I guess like, all right, shout out all my adopted black people into white families. Y'all know what I'm talking about when I say this. My first like kind of moment where I'm like, I realized I was like, oh shit, like I'm a different skin color than all these people. Like, like that shit. I think it was in 2nd or 3rd grade, right? Up to then, leading them, like I was, obviously I was around like a lot of white people. Like, didn't even think of it. Like a ton of my friends were white. We had this our neighborhood was so sick.
When you say a ton of your friends, do you mean all your friends?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess growing up, yeah. Because we lived in a neighborhood too. It was dope. Shout out, I'm trying to remember everybody's name. The Phillips, Wilsons. Man, I think that's
don't
close
worry about it. They
Hadley's.
know.
Y'all know West Haven, my West Haven group.
They know.
Sheets. Shout out my boy Spencer, love y'all. But yeah, that neighborhood. Shout out that neighborhood. We lived in like a cul-de-sac, and it was so sick because everybody like basically we had a person for me and my siblings' age, like, and the whole neighborhood, we were all tight. So we have night games every night. We go to someone's house every night. Like, it was sick. And it was just like we all just lived like a minute away. So like we'd be there till nighttime, come home. Like, it was dope. Like, I loved it. Big community, right? And so I kind of grew up like that. And then like, I was in school and shit. And then kind of one day we're playing either kickball or foursquare or something, right? And like my brain kind of just had this moment where I was just like, I like grab the ball and I like get down and I look at like my hands and I'm like, I start like, you know how you're starting like, you see something, you're like, start like thinking, you're like, wait a minute, something's not right here.
He said,
Yeah, I'm like,
something
and then I
seems.
start like, you know, I'm like, wait, why is this kid like that? And so I go home and I go talk to my parents and, you know, like all that.
Yeah.
And the first thing that came to my mind was I asked, why did Jesus burn me?
Damn.
And I'm like, what? Like,
What was your thought process?
I was just like, you know, me being a little kid, you know, you're like, why did Jesus burn me? Or like, was I left in the oven too long? You know, just stuff, stupid shit
Damn.
like that, where you're just like, you like start, and like you growing up now, it's funny and shit, like looking back on it, but you're like, why am I different than these kids? You know, I'm like, so my parents, you know, they sat me down, they had me like, we had the adoption talk and stuff, and so after, after that, for the longest time, not for the longest time, but like, you know, you kind of like, they explain it to you, right? And you're still little, so you don't
Yeah.
understand a lot. And so, you know, I'm like going up to my friends, I'm like, yo, my parents bought me. What about you?
Damn. That's that. You're
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. They're like, what do you mean they bought you? I'm like, they bought me. And I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I'm like, yeah, like I was, you know, I was bought, you know, like what's up? Like just like shit like that. You're like,
That's
and they're like,
crazy.
now you're like, oh, like that's a little bit weird.
Yeah.
But like, you know, as a kid, you're like, dude, I like love my parents. Like it's, you know, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you know, I love my parents. I don't even like when I like. I mean, you know, like the joke. Like I don't see color. Like I really don't though. Like,
Mhm.
like I consider like every time I see my mom, I'm like, oh yeah, that's my mom. Like I don't even.
Yeah.
It doesn't even
Because you have
register.
an emotional connection.
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
love
even like
for your
register.
mom.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, like sometimes even like now, I'm like I forget like, oh shit, like I'm a different color. Like I don't. Even,
Mhm.
And like I have a sister who's adopted. She's from the Marshall Islands.
Okay.
Shout out Keisha. Yeah. Anyway, um, she's awesome too, but her story's a lot more crazier than mine. But
Dang, we'll have to get her in here.
yeah, she actually, my parents had to go 15 hours from, I think it was 15 or something like that, on boat to get her and get her back, and it was crazy. But
Dang.
yeah, so she's also adopted. So, but and then I got two biological siblings. Shout out Casey and Connor. But yeah, man, I'm like, me and my siblings are like.
Super close.
Yeah, like we hang out, like we had all the same friends,
Yeah.
like it was great, and it was like I didn't even, you know, like
Mhm.
being adopted, like didn't even like feel like I've never felt once that I was adopted. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it was kind of just like, oh yeah, those are my siblings. Oh yeah, that's my
Yeah.
parents. Like
Do you
Yeah.
feel like, and this is more because I've had a negative experience with a black kid that was adopted. Like
oh really? Okay.
not a negative one. It was just more like he was definitely annoying to me
Mm.
for whatever reasons. You know, and that was probably more of an insecurity on my part or whatever the reason was that I was feeling that way towards him. Now I don't feel like that. It's like, damn, that's messed up of me to
Yeah.
just do that to anyone. But did you ever feel like were you ever like uncomfortable around other black people?
You know, it's funny because I grew up. Shout out Zach and Colton. I actually had two of my best friends were black and they actually lived across the street.
Mhm.
And so, you know, like we all hang out like 24/7. It was great. And then, but yeah, it was, you know, like when you get with like, you know how you get with some black, because like, we had friends that were, you know, like weren't in as good situations as us, you know, I'm like,
yeah.
I get it, man. Like they were in the mud, they were in the hood, you know, all that. And so like, yeah, it'd be a little bit weird sometimes, you know, because it's like, I didn't understand the struggles they were going through because
Yeah.
I've never had to feel those, you know,
Yeah.
like, but if I wasn't adopted, I would have,
Yeah.
you know, and so, you know, so that kind of was a little bit weird, kind of being around that because it was like, I know how you feel, like, and look, and like, you know how you feel with like some of the stuff with like, you know, racism and all that, and
Mhm.
like, I know how some of that stuff feels, but I don't know like, understand like how living in the hood is or like how
that whole culture,
that
just
whole
like how
culture,
you grew up
yeah,
in your specific culture and bubble of Utah,
yeah,
like you didn't really experience it. Probably a little bit. You saw a lot more when you went to California.
exactly, yeah,
but, like,
exactly, yeah, and
they
it was
lived
hard,
a different.
yeah,
They had a different upbringing.
yeah, and it was hard because it's like, I don't know, to me like, I don't understand that life, I really don't, like, I don't understand that life, like, and it sound like we kind of talked about it a little bit off the pod, but it was like, to me, like that life is like, oh yeah, it's obvious. Like you should get out of there. Like
Mhm.
you should be able to leave and just do all that. But it's like, when that's all you grow up with and
Mm-hmm.
that's all you're used to and that's all your homies are used to and like you guys are like basically a family, a tight knit group,
Mm-hmm.
it's
That's your
like
sense of
it's harder than
belonging.
it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
looking for a sense of belonging because you don't have like that father figure. You don't have like I don't know like those people around you encouraging you to get out or live in that same lifestyle as you
Mm-hmm.
like from away from the
They're
hood. They're
promoting
promoting
it.
it,
Yeah.
right? And so I don't know. To me and like my other homies, you know, Zach and Colin, it was like hard for us to like I guess understand that lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so it was like I mean, we still were cool kids, like in that
Yeah.
lifestyle,
No,
you
I
know.
feel you.
And like, shout out to them, like they were awesome kids. I'm like, I would never change those moments to anything, like you know, being around them and stuff, because it
Yeah.
taught me a lot too.
Yeah.
But yeah, just from like an understanding of like that type of life and that type of, I never understood it,
Yeah.
and like I'm not gonna act like I will, because it's like to them that's like in life, that's their life, like that's how
Yeah.
they lived and that's all they know. And so for me to judge that from the situation I'm from, that's not right of me, right? And so just to be there when they need me and be there to support them.
Yeah.
That's what I was kind of my mindset was just I'm here. I want to hang out with the boys. I want to. No, it's like we weren't in the hood. We were just hanging out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't need all that. Like we didn't need to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? So
Have you ever had any experiences where someone like who is from the hood or you could say lives that modern, I wouldn't even say black culture because I feel like the culture we see today is black culture with like rap and
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
all the negative things that they promote in black culture. I don't feel like is black culture. I think that's just like what a lot of black Americans have to do to, you know, make money, get
Yeah,
a
of course,
bag,
of
and those
course,
are
of
just
course.
they're just a
Yeah.
product of their environment. But like, do you ever feel like anyone that grew up in that kind of situation in your life has ever tried to make you feel bad for being
Um,
adopted, or like trying to make you feel
I'm
like
trying
you're
to think.
less black because you didn't grow up in that struggle in the
You know
hood?
what's funny is I feel like it's ironically it was more white people than black people, because there's always those jokes where it's like, oh, you're not even black, like you don't even
Mm.
act black, you don't talk black, and I'm like,
So what you mean by
yeah,
that?
I'm like, all right. I'm
What you mean
like,
by that,
I'm
my nigga?
like, what do you want me to
For
what,
real.
like you want me to like pull out a gun, like
For
rap,
real.
like I'm like, bro, like
It's like
I
you
could
want me
care
to
less.
beat your ass.
Yeah, literally, like you want me to, like that's what I'm saying, like you want me to like I don't know what acts black, but like I'm
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
then it's like shit, like I said, like those people in
Like, what
those
do you mean by
situations,
that?
yeah, like I mean, like I just feel like that's a little bit racist, like just in that sense.
Yeah, and even if
But
it's not racist, where it's like coming from hate, it's coming from ignorance.
ignorance, exactly. And
Yeah.
like I'm like again, I'm not one to talk on this just because I never experienced it.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know, just like I like that, like I guess that joke or like whatever you want to call it,
That
the
prejudice.
prejudice, like I I mean like you laugh it off, you're just like, haha, all right, bro, whatever. But you know, it's kind of just like I mean, I don't know what you mean by that. Like,
For real. Like,
I mean,
it's like almost like where do you go from there
yeah,
when
like
you say
you.
that?
I know. I'm like I've had dudes be like, "Oh yeah, you don't act like you're black." I'm like, "Yeah, I was raised in a white family in like the suburbs. Like,
Yeah,
what do you
what
want
do
me
you
to
want?
do?"
I feel
Yeah,
that.
I
That
don't
makes
know.
sense.
I feel like it's crazy because it's like I wasn't put in that lifestyle. You know,
How
I
did
was,
that make
but
you
even
feel?
those people I do.
Did you feel uncomfortable when those comments are kind of being made?
Yeah, you know how it is though. When you're in high school and junior high, you're kind of just
You're
like,
trying to fit in with the
yeah,
group,
you're
so
trying to fit in with the group, so you act
yeah,
along with it.
yeah,
You're like, oh yeah, whatever, bro. Like, and then you
yeah,
just move on with your day or whatever. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it didn't like bug me like so much, but like you know, when I kind of get older, you kind of start thinking about it, and you
Like,
have
were they
like,
being
yeah,
racist?
and you're like, what does that even mean? Like, you know, like how you have those thoughts in the shower, and you're
Yeah,
kind of just like, when they say that now, like, what does that even mean? Like,
yeah. And
like, what do you
again,
want
that's
me?
just coming from a projection or like a misinformation of what black is.
Yeah, exactly,
And so
exactly.
I think that's another thing that goes back to like the people who are trying to fight for change and like to change the system. Where are those thoughts coming from? Like, why would someone say that?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what are you seeing? Who are you hanging around to when you see a well-spoken, educated black person that knows how to express their emotions
Yeah,
and
it's like I'm
articulate
wrong
their
for
words.
that. Yeah,
It's like, why is your first thing to say that's not how black people act? That's a problem already. That's already a
yeah,
problem.
yeah,
If when you see someone that seems well put together, that you're automatically like, oh, they didn't grow up in the hood. They didn't grow up like other black people. It's like it doesn't work like
Well,
that.
on the flip side of that too, it's like I don't know. There's a flip side to that too, where it's like you do see people like are in that hood life, and they are like, I guess like trying to like just they live in their lives, and
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, that's you could tell that's for sure a black person and stuff. It's like like as a black person, I think sometimes like I think it's fun to have like jokes and stuff, and
Mm-hmm.
like like
Have
I
a
think
good
it's fun to
time.
like
Okay.
joke
Yeah.
a little bit like on the edge and stuff. But like sometimes too, I feel like it goes a little bit too far with just stuff like that, where
Yeah.
it's like okay, bro, like
Have you
if
had
you
friends
see,
that you felt like, you don't have to name names,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I do want to know, because I don't know if it's because I'm oblivious or I just didn't grow up understanding how that shit works, but I don't feel like anyone ever did that. But it's different for you because you had family, friends, and your whole
Yeah.
community, and like I guess you're around it more. Maybe they felt more
Yeah.
comfortable to
Yeah.
like. Do you feel like that that openness or that environment you created for them by making things comfortable, that things came out like slip
Yeah.
ups?
I
Like,
mean,
do you feel like you ever experienced
no,
like
not
true racism?
okay. Honestly, not with like my friends or anything.
Uh
Like,
huh.
I mean, like we're teenagers and like
Yeah.
like we're boys. Like sometimes we're gonna be idiots and just say
Yeah.
stupid shit. But like offensive wise, no. Like I felt my friends were always been really good about like no making me like feel like
Yeah.
I'm like one of the
It's
boys and
just
like
some
yeah.
random person
Well,
will say
funny you
something.
speak on that because I actually did have an experience where there. I mean, I don't want to say it was racism because, like, honestly,
Just
I
you could just
understand
always
it.
use the word ignorance,
Yeah, ignorance.
and
Yeah,
then we'll
yeah,
just let the chat decide
yeah. Chat
whether
got
it's
it. Chat, you got it.
racist or not.
But and looking on it like now, just like being older, I could totally understand her side of it too because a lot of my homies we play college ball. We're huge dudes. Like, like we we are definitely the people where it's like you see us, you're gonna be a little bit more like on edge.
They
It's kind
play
of like
sport. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
like
I see
I
what you're saying.
like my boy Zach, the one I was telling you about. He's like 6'10", like what is he like? I don't know. He's huge. He's a unit. But so it was me, him, Colin, and then our other boy. I mean, he's white, but he's also like 6'10", like 300 pounds, like huge dudes. We were just walking in one day, or we were just walking where we were at the mall or something. I don't know. We were just somewhere. I remember this. It was like my sophomore year or something.
Yeah.
But we were just walking, and we get to a store. I can't remember what store it is. I don't remember a lot of details, chat.
No
So
worries. No worries.
but we kind of just walked by, and it's like this lady by herself or whatever. Like, and I could totally see her side of it too. Like she was this little, skinny lady by herself, and like you got like three big black guys and then a huge white dude, right? And I just remember like walking by, and then like we kind of like stopped because we like wanted to see what was in the store or something like we were interested in, and she kind of just like had like this little bit of like you could tell like she had her hand by her phone, like kind of just like watching her every move just to see, which again I totally understand,
Yeah.
being a woman, like I I'm not gonna judge you off that,
Yeah.
but no, we walk in, and then like we grab whatever we wanted, we check out, and then it was like I think she like finally like when she talked to us, she realized like, oh, these guys are really nice. Like they're not gonna do anything,
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, but it was honestly eye opening in a lot of ways. But it's like I like it helped me too just to realize like other people like understand other people's point of views, and like
Yeah.
not everything is just gonna be like, oh, like there's prejudice, oh there's racism. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, she was a woman by herself, and there's like these
Yeah.
three humongous dudes walking in the store. It's like
Yeah.
you gotta like you want
It's
to
like,
be on your
it's not
edge.
just a racing at that point.
Yeah, it's not,
like,
and so it's like it was good in like a lot of ways because I feel like that was like my real first time just kind of like understanding a little bit of like other people's point of views, and just like when it actually does come to prejudice and when it actually does come to these other things, like like there is stuff that is legit and there's real, and there's like we just gotta be able to learn like
to
what
discern
separate
those
the line
things,
and be able to discern it versus just saying everything is prejudice. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I
So
feel that. That makes sense. Well, do you feel like that you ever do you feel like being black growing up in Utah that's predominantly white, you know, you
yeah, yeah, of course, man.
in that environment, do you feel
Is
like
this Utah bubble time?
no, no, I was gonna say, do you ever feel like you had to go? Do you ever feel like there was pressure to go out of your way to make someone or a group of people feel comfortable with your race
Mm.
or with like black culture and stuff like that?
I would say honestly, I never had that problem, and like honestly, this is actually funny you say that. I feel like it was the exact opposite. I feel like sometimes it felt like, oh, like they want to just be my friend, or oh, like she wants to go get with me or go on a date with me because I'm the black guy,
Mm,
and because there's not a lot of us in Utah, and it's like rare, and like we're like the sought out,
mm,
the sought out thing, So like I never really felt that, but I felt like the exact opposite, where it's like, okay, like I'm trying to understand, like, is this like you trying to get with me because I'm black, or you
yeah,
like
you're
getting with
trying
me
to feel it
because
out.
my personality, or like you're just trying to like say like, oh, I kissed like one of the black guys, you know what I mean? And so I feel like that was more of the struggle than
Of
like
just
just
like
like
trying to
being,
decipher that
yeah,
with every
exactly,
interaction.
because I mean you're in high, like when you're in high school and you're like, oh man, like this chick's so bad, like she
Yeah.
about to come over and shit, like and you doing all that, and like you go out with them and shit, and it's like you kind of start like I kind of started like when I got older and stuff, I'm like I can't. I went into college and shit. I'm like, I kind of look back on those memories. I'm like, damn, was I just like one of the black guys, like, where
Yeah.
they were just trying to flex with, or like
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
just trying to like
And it's hard
want to
that you
have on their
can't. It's
roster, I
hard that you
guess.
can't tell. You won't ever really know.
No, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
tough part.
yeah.
That made me think. Um, damn, I think I lost my train of thought with what I was gonna ask. But do you do you even? So from what I'm hearing, like you had a pretty good upbringing and like a lot of good
Yeah,
experience.
yeah,
You
yeah.
didn't really experience a lot of, I guess you could say, like family hardships or toxicity or trauma? Or
Yeah,
do you
not
feel like you
necessarily.
grew up with any trauma?
No, not at all. My family's been amazing. Like my extended family, like I never felt like I grew up with any trauma. Like
Oh, that's
I
good.
always felt like I like never felt like different. Same with
Yeah.
my like I mean I don't want to speak for my sister, but like just seeing it too, like they've made us feel like we're just
Yeah,
it
just
wasn't even color. You know what I mean? It
yeah.
was just like, oh, like you're just
Yeah.
oh my grandkids, or like oh my son and daughter, like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
you never felt that.
it was never like, oh yeah, our adopted son and daughter. Like,
That's
oh yeah,
good.
like like just stuff like that. So it was like I always never like felt like out of place. And so like that's like when sometimes when I'm like in the doctor or something, you fill out those questionnaires, they're like,
Mhm.
oh, like what's your family history or whatever. I'm like, I put I don't know, and it's like, and there's like that box where it's like, oh, you're like, are you adopted? And like,
Yeah.
all right, and I put I don't
I
know because
actually
I'm
didn't
just so
know that there
used.
was one on there like
Oh yeah,
that.
and I'm just so used to like, oh yeah, that's my mom, that's my dad. I just put I don't know, and then my mom and dad have to go, remember you're adopted, or like my wife, you're adopted, and I'm like, that's right. So I had to
Yeah.
check that box, but it was great, man. Like
That's
growing
good.
up, never had trauma or anything like that.
That's
So I was
good,
blessed.
bro.
I was very blessed.
It sounds like you had some good parents,
Yeah.
bro. We need some more of them around here.
Shout out Mike and Tammy. Shout out Mike and Tammy.
Yeah, yeah. That's good. Well, then you wouldn't really say that there's anything you would change about like adoption from your point of view. You feel
Nah, man.
like your parents did a pretty
They
good job.
did a really good job, and also on that too. Like I guess like I'm not getting paid for this or anything, obviously, but like if you're thinking about adopting, man, just adopt. Like there's so many kids
What
in
would you
this
say about the
world,
people
bro.
that like adopt? I guess it's like it's anyone, but there are people out there, right, that aren't ready to have kids.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
like, how have you had any friends that were adopted or that had bad experiences?
I'm trying to think real quick.
Not even like a race based issue.
Yeah, just kind of like
Just like through adoption that
I
experienced some.
necessarily I guess I it was this kid from high school. I wouldn't call him like a best friend, but like I was pretty tight with a lot of like everybody. I tried to be nice to everybody, and
Yeah.
like try to learn about a lot of people, and like be open, just like making new friends, new groups. And so this one kid, I can't remember his name. I'm terrible with memory.
Mm.
But I think he was adopted, and I don't know, he would just tell me stuff where it was just like his family like kind of was like, oh, like yeah, he's our adopted child, or like it kind of made him feel like is it excluded? Made him feel excluded. Kind of made him feel like, oh yeah, like I'm not just the kid, I'm the adopted kid.
Yeah.
And it was just like that was kind of like another thing too, where I'm like, I'm not like I'm so grateful that parents like don't make me feel like that, because that like weighs a lot on a kid, especially
for real.
when you see like I have 2 biological siblings, right? So like if I was treated like that, and then I see like my biological siblings, and it's like, oh yeah, that's our kids. It's like, well, damn, like I'm here too. Like, what do you want? Like, what else do I have? Like, what do I want your approval.
That can really affect a kid.
Yeah, and like it ends up like hurting that relationship so much, and like doing such like emotional damage inside your brain, where you're kind of just like, damn, now like, do I fit in with like these people? Like my friends, do I fit in with my friends? Like, or am I just the adopted friend?
And it doesn't even have to be a race issue at that point.
It's like
that kid is gonna attach to those thoughts of like, damn, I'm different.
Yeah, I'm adopted. I'm different. Yeah.
Like, am I really wanted? Or like, why? Yeah. You start asking questions, and like when you're a kid, you can't process that. You just start going down a spiral. Well,
it's like you're not like black people are the only people that are adopted. Like I have a cousin who's adopted that's white and shit. It's like shit. I mean, like he would feel that way too. Like,
yeah, he could. Yeah.
I mean, like like it's just like anybody that's adopted. It's like if you make them feel like, I guess like they are adopted and they're not like part of your family, like actually, then like that shit hurts. Like that shit like would really like if my parents did treat me like that. That shit would cut so deep to the point where it's like, damn, like what's my point of even being here? Because then you start questioning like every aspect of life, or every aspect of like, do I belong here because I'm adopted, or like do I belong here because I'm adopted?
You start building those insecurities.
Yeah, you build that insecurity, and it's like, do I even belong on this earth? And then that could lead to a lot of darker things. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that makes me think.
It comes down to the parents.
What do you feel like? Are there certain things that you feel like your parents did good at being like your parents and your adopted parents that helped you have this kind of confidence? Or like it almost feels like you are like very open, very understanding, and like I want to say emotionally resilient. Like you can get through hard things without like crashing out type shit. So do you feel what do you feel like it was that your parents did that helped you with that?
Kind of like I said before, man. Like, I guess like I've never heard them say like, unless like they were telling people my story, but like unless like they weren't telling people, I've never heard the word adopted ever. I just heard, oh yeah, that's my kid. Oh yeah, that's my son. Oh yeah, Jordan over there, yeah, he's the one over there. Yeah, that's my son. Like it was never, oh yeah, it's the adopted one, or oh it's like.
Or it's the black
one. It's the big black.
Use that a lot? That's good. Bro, see, that's crazy to think about. That like, there's probably so many times, or not even so many times. It only probably would take a couple of times of them saying that to build or foster insecurity.
I never heard it once ever.
Yeah, that's so good, man.
Now looking back on it, it's actually kind of crazy. I never heard him say like, "Oh yeah, that's the black, it's the black one." Or,
you see the big black fella over there. That's our adopted child that we took out of poverty.
Oh yeah, dude, it's funny too because I'm like make more jokes than they do, but I'm like, oh, I'm sorry I couldn't turn out like Michael Orr,
That's crazy.
Shit like that's like, oh man, I was so close to getting you guys to the blind side. But
I just needed that extra genetic shit.
I just needed that extra like 3 inches.
Damn.
But no, man, like I joke about it, but like they've been awesome, man. Like we'll have our jokes and stuff, especially like me and my dad. But like at the end of the day, I've never heard him say like, same with my sister. Like I've never heard him say like the brown one. Like,
see, and those are things that I feel like you probably did, like you probably were like almost subconsciously paying attention to. Like,
yeah.
And I think like good adopted parents probably know that. Mm-hmm. And I feel like the bad parents that adopt black kids or adopt kids in general don't realize that those little things matter, bro. Like you gotta lock the fuck in.
Yeah, no,
literally. Know what you're saying.
Well,
words are powerful.
No, it is, bro. And like, not necessarily too. Like, I know, like I've heard some people like that aren't even bad parents. They're great parents. Mm-hmm. they just, like you said, they just don't pick up on like that cue of like
those
small little things where it's
small little.
like a kid hears that, or like, like I guess like a kid of color or
You can
whatever.
just say a kid.
Yeah.
A kid that doesn't have the full mental
Exactly.
capacity to understand the dialogue and understand the complexities of that conversation. All they hear out of that was adopted.
Yeah.
Is it because I'm black that they call me adopted?
Literally, right?
Yeah, and it's just like that.
Yeah.
You can slip into that. Like, that kid can slip into almost like a self-induced depression, anxiety.
Yeah, yeah. And they kind of will grow up thinking like, oh, I'm just the adopted kid, or like, oh, like I'm just that one.
See,
you
and
know what I mean? It's
that's crazy, because what I'm realizing from that is like that's not his or hers. That's not the child's fault for thinking like that.
No.
That's the parents' fault.
Yeah.
If your kid is thinking like that, it didn't come out of nowhere. And sometimes it's not your fault, like the parents' fault. It could be a friend at school that said something. Yeah. But like, if you're not fostering a safe environment for your kids to be willing to open up and say those things like, hey, this really hurt my feelings that this random kid says, you could lose a soul, bro. You could just have lost your child because you didn't put in the work to create a safe environment for them.
Yeah.
They go out in the world and they are hurt by someone, which they totally can because they're human. Then they come home, and because it's not safe, I'm not willing to open up about my emotions or my thoughts or my feelings. They keep that shit inside.
Yep.
And that it just spirals into a lot of insecurity, and they might go a totally different way because the parents didn't create a safe environment and help them grow through it. But that being said, you said you had experiences that came from like outside of your family, where it's just like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you were able to get through those situations? Like, did you ever come to your parents? So you came to your parents that one time saying like that shit that look, he's sad. Like, oh, did God, did Jesus burn you? Like, that shit hurt, bro. Like,
why am I a chocolate person?
Like, how do you feel like your parents? I'm sure you can't remember everything they said or what they said, but like, what was it that made you feel diffused or like made you feel safe and comforted?
Kind of what I said earlier, man. Just like, just never hear him like saying like the black one, and like just kind of feeling like, again, like how I felt like when I was a kid, when I was like that, like until before I realized when I was a little bit different. I've always felt like I've never like, obviously I know I'm adopted, but it was like I felt like how I was when I was little, where it's like I would never have a thought where I'm like, oh shit, I'm black.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I'm home.
Yeah, you felt like you had that belonging.
It's really like I got put into a really lucky situation because it's like, yeah, my parents have been amazing, man. Like there was never an instance where I was just like, man, like, I mean, like, no offense, I love my adopted mom and like I hope she's doing well, but it was just like, man, I'm with my mom right now. This is great. Oh, I'm gonna go on a date with my mom. You know? Yeah.
Well, let's take a quick intermission because my camera broke.
No,
I'm not broke. My camera battery died, and if you're just listening, I'm broke as hell. I only got one camera. It's got a bad battery, so I always take this time to have an intermission.
No, you're good.
So
man. You're good.
I'll change out the camera, and during this time, I usually ask, like, how are you feeling, bro? Feeling good?
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man.
Good.
It's just been chill.
Yeah. I definitely like to keep it very, I don't know, very chill, like.
Yeah. It's nice. It's just like we're talking.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a conversation.
It doesn't feel like we're like podcasting. We're just talking. It's nice.
Exactly, bro.
It's nice.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm a yapper too, so I can go on for a minute.
So. And that's what we shall do right now. I'm learning a lot, though. This is great insight for me and for the people. You know, the people want to know. Like, I mean, I guess I want to know. I want to know.
No, you're good, man. Like I said, I'm an open book. I'm not afraid to talk about anything. So.
Well, we're back. So before we get started, just want to let you guys know, please like, subscribe to my channel. It's very small right now, but it's called The Village Podcast. It's on YouTube, Spotify, and all other forms of, what the fuck is it called? All streaming platforms. I'm on all of them, I think. So if not, let me know. But that's cool. Okay. that leads me into wanting to talk about like how you feel like. So from what I'm hearing, I'm just hearing that you did grow up in a very loving and open family
Yeah.
that did a really good job at being aware of you and your feelings as a human, and that really affected you positively to have a more mentally, emotionally, and like overall just resilient soul kind of thing.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
yeah,
getting, you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And
No, you're good, man.
that's
Thank
really
you.
awesome, and I think that's one thing I hope that we can get to as like a society is like
Mm-hmm.
fostering love as the forefront of our actions, which will create strong individuals. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's very backwards, I feel like, the way that our society is, or from what I see, like I only see what I see online,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know that there are loving people, I know there are evil people. It's like, you know, that duality, there's opposition in all things, but I do feel like there are a lot more closed off people than open
Mm-hmm.
minded people. And it goes back to families, like families, communities, institutions. And so like
Yep.
you got to start somewhere, and that's what I'm trying to do
It's like
here.
I guess like the Lion King, right? The circle of life, or
Yeah.
I guess, but yeah, like you said, man, it's like I'm a very outgoing. Like I see you. If you want to talk, I'll talk. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like I'm a little bit now. I'm a little bit older. I'm like not like pursuing talking to people now. But
No,
like if you
facts.
see me, like dude, I have no problem talking. But it's just like as simple as like you're at the grocery store, you could see like the clerk, or you see somebody like having a bad day, just asking how their day's going. I've been trying to do a lot better at just doing something like little stuff like that, because you never know, like somebody could be having like a shitty ass day, and it's like, oh man, like I just wish somebody cared, or I wish like somebody
Yeah.
like
Showed
love
some
me enough,
love,
yeah, show
bro.
me show me enough love to like ask how I'm doing.
Yeah,
You know what I
there's
mean?
not, and that's what I truly do feel like we're missing that in our society, like
Mm-hmm.
true love for humanity. And I think it's really affecting the way we interact with each other.
Oh yeah,
And like
100%, man.
that takes me to my next kind of like question for you. So I feel like from what I'm understanding, you as an individual, you turned out pretty good.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
You know,
Appreciate
I mean,
it.
I don't know your like your whole life, but like if it's worth anything, it's like,
Yeah. Hey,
I've had a
just
couple of experiences with you, and I'm like, oh, he's a good guy. He's
hey,
a good
just stay
dude.
away from the Call of Duty lobby so you don't change your mind.
No, for real. But like, but like you as an individual, you were really impacted and affected by your family,
Yeah.
and because your
Yep.
family did a really good job at doing their best to raise you to be a good human, you turned out this way. You Okay, and so let's go into like the community aspect or the Utah
Yeah, yeah,
bubble.
yeah. Of course, man.
Do you
Yeah.
feel like you had any like uncomfortable or bad experiences that you feel like could have changed you if you didn't have a solid family,
Um,
like a
I
solid
would
good family?
say, yeah, I would say like, I guess everybody has those experiences, right? Where it's
Mm.
like sometimes you just need someone to lean on and shit. And mine necessarily, I would say it wasn't necessarily like bad enough where it's like, oh man, like I'm a piece of shit, or like, oh man,
Mm.
like, but it was just kind of like, it's hard because makes me, I don't know, it makes me feel like we could just do so much better as a community in Utah.
Mm.
And necessarily wasn't even about me. It's just like, like I said, I served a mission. I've served. I've been in the church. I guess not served, but I've been in the church for like my whole life, damn near.
Yeah.
And just seeing like how much people like judge, especially in the Utah bubble,
Mm.
is like insane to me. Like I didn't like, cause growing up, you're like you just kind of not really
You don't
question
really,
it.
yeah,
You're like, cause you were a part of it, right? So you're
yeah,
like, oh, like I'm not judging this person. Like, oh, like they're a bad person. They're not going to church, or oh, they have tattoos, they have piercings, and
no,
then like,
yeah,
you kind of grow up, and I'm like, the more I've grown up, I'm like, damn, like this shit is toxic, bro. Like,
yeah.
why am I judging?
That
Yeah,
constant like inner dialogue,
yeah,
like observing everyone around you, just like always thinking about like, oh, this
yeah,
person probably are like this because I don't see them, at church,
No,
or someone said something.
yeah.
Do you, and that I feel like there's a lot of truth to that. That like here in Utah, there is a lot of that like perfectionism culture that I
Mm-hmm.
feel like affects the way that people view each other. Like we're not viewing each other as humans with a lot of nuance and complex
Mm-hmm.
problems and emotions, and having that empathy and just like being understanding, and we do need that.
Well, going off that too, it's funny because when you do say that, when you ask that question, I kind of in my mind, I like, I guess towards myself, no, but like just like growing up and like myself, like being like one of those like judgy people that like kind of judges people,
Self-righteous kind of
self
thing.
righteous. That is what kind of like answers that question for me. It was like it wasn't necessarily what I went through, but like I
How
guess
you
like
were
how I
acting,
was acting, how I judge people,
how you were
and like
thinking.
yeah,
Okay, I
and
see
like I
what you mean.
necessarily wasn't like a self righteous person because like I wasn't going like oh yeah I'm going to church a lot, but it was just like the self thoughts
Yeah, like
where it's
you
like
were like,
oh
oh, I'm better. I'm doing well because
yeah
I go to
oh
church.
that guy's a piece of shit. He drank a beer. He's a piece of shit.
Yeah,
It's like no, like who
that
gives a
has
fuck?
nothing to do with
Yeah,
them.
like who gives a fuck? Like it's he's drank a beer. Like why is that affecting me?
Yeah,
It's like he's a nice dude. As long like
yeah,
you know
like
what I
that.
mean?
Yeah, and yeah, that is very true. So like, with that, do you feel like do you so in Utah? Do you think that there's a racism issue from your walk of life?
Shit, man. I would say yes, because I feel like there's racism everywhere.
No, for
And
sure.
but like for me specifically, I'm not necessarily like I like maybe have like one or two experiences and like they weren't even that bad. Like the one I said I
Yeah,
talked about. I wouldn't even call that like racism, honestly.
yeah.
But like I never really had like anything big happen to me, and I don't want to
Or
speak.
maybe not racism. Do you feel like there's a lot of ignorance towards
Yes, ignorance. Yes,
non-white people
yes,
in
yes.
Utah?
I'd say ignorance. Yes, or like people maybe just not understanding like what they say, how it can affect somebody. That like
Yeah.
there's not like in a state where there's not a lot of people that look like them.
Mm.
How that can affect somebody that
Just like how we
feel
talked about
yeah
with like adoption, it's like it's not about being colored and being adopted. It's
no
about that you are different by being adopted. Your title's automatically
yeah
different.
your
You're not.
title's different, but you don't feel different.
Yeah.
Yeah
And
yeah
so you're saying that it's kind of the same thing with here in Utah. It might not necessarily be like a just straight up racist issue. It might just be like dealing with people that are different than
mm-hmm
you.
mm-hmm
They don't do a really good job at like
yeah
that.
yeah. Well, no, it's hard too because it's like when you're not around people that look like you a lot, sometimes like it's not even like the people that you hang out with. It's not even their fault.
Mm.
You're just kind of like, damn, like you just kind of feel like a sense of like, shit, like I'm like kind of like the only like black person here, or
Do
like
you ever
the
have
only
you ever
Mexican
felt
person here.
uncomfortable?
No,
Because
I
you
wouldn't say uncomfortable. I would say more necessary, like just like that, where it's like, damn, like I'm like the only black person here, like or like shit, like there's not a lot of people here that look like me. And it's
yeah,
like not even a bad thing. It was just like
it's
those
just
kind of those
something you're
inner
aware
thoughts.
of.
It's
You're
kind of
just
yeah,
aware.
you're aware of it. It's kind of those inner thoughts where it's like it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just like you're kind of just thinking about it. You're like, oh man, like shit, I really am like the only black person in this friend group, or like I'm the
Mm.
only black person in the school, or like whatever. You know what I
And
mean?
what has helped you be okay with that? Like what experiences have you had that helped you not like take that as a negative thing?
Yeah, no, I shout out my homies Fisher, all you guys. My homies like I'm the only black one, but I'm not like group and stuff. But like, shit, man, like it's like we don't even like we make jokes and shit.
It's just
We
more
say
about
stupid shit.
it's about that friendship.
Exactly, it's about the friendship. Like they don't base their friendship off me being like the funny, cool black guy or whatever.
He
Like,
said it. They don't look at me and think, damn, sexy,
yeah,
dark,
hey,
correct,
I already
charismatic.
told him if I get called Drewski, that's a compliment. You know what I
I
mean?
feel that.
That's like the man right there. But nah, man. But yeah, man. Just like never kind of like the same thing with my family. Like it didn't feel like they were hanging out with me for like clout to be
Mhm.
with like the funny black dude that plays sports and shit. It
Mhm.
was just like, oh yeah, we're like it felt like, especially my boy Fish, shout out him. Like I don't remember exactly how we met, but it was just like, dude, like it felt like we were brothers. Like I remember how it felt. You know what I mean? Like I don't remember exactly what we did, but like as soon as like we became friends, like ever since that day, it was like I might not remember the exact details, but it was like, oh shit, that's like a brother.
See,
You know
and
what I mean?
I really do think that goes back to like those are good humans. Just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
they were raised in good
yeah,
families that were able to acknowledge that you might be different in certain ways, but that has nothing to do with who you are as a human.
yeah.
And I think that's my only, like, what I'll say about the I don't see color. I think it's okay. I said this before somewhere. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but if I said it again, hey, then you need to hear it. But
Facts, preach.
it's not about seeing or not seeing color, because those things are characteristics. Those are features that you can't deny.
Yeah,
Someone that
exactly.
looks that has, fair skin or lighter skin than you, that's a description or a
Hmm.
feature that you shouldn't just try and tell your brain you don't see, because that just don't make sense. And they're probably using it in a different context, but I think a better thing is color, shouldn't matter.
Exactly.
Like I don't
Exactly.
I see our differences, but those things don't matter. If you're a good person, if I vibe with you, then I vibe with you. It's the same thing with music. I I don't have like a certain music taste. There's probably music that I would stay away from because I don't like how it sounds, but it
Yeah,
has
yeah,
nothing to do with, oh, because it's country specifically. Whenever I hear country, I'm automatically gonna think it's doo doo,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
ass. I'm not gonna do that. It's more like I see the differences, but I enjoy these ones more.
Exactly.
But I still appreciate those things.
Yeah.
But it's different, right? I'm trying to compare
No.
apples to oranges. But what I mean is, like, it's okay to see color, but it's not okay to have that be a reason that you treat someone differently.
Exactly. Well, first off,
That's that very
no,
simple. That's human
that is bars.
101.
That is bars.
But
First off, shout out Drake, the goat, and LeBron, the goat. But no, exactly. Like I don't know. Like going back to like my homies. Like it's like I mean, like I'm the only black guy in that group, but it was like they, yeah, I'm black. It's like
that's
who I
just
am.
part of who you
But
are, yeah.
yeah, it was like shit, bro. Like our first like couple times hanging out, it was just like, oh yeah, we're brothers. Like instantly off the rip, I knew like, oh yeah, that's my brother for life. Like
Yeah.
I got him whenever like, and like I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just kind of need to be like that. It's like I'm not hanging. Oh yeah, I'm hanging out with the funny. I guess like
Yeah.
funny, cool black guy in the school, like, and I,
Like,
no,
trying
I
to
could
use
totally
that
tell the
always.
difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I had people like that too, where it was like, I could tell the difference of them like just using me for clout or like using me for like, I
A
guess to
trophy
like
type
trophy, yeah, thank you, like trophy type shit, where it was like, I felt like they weren't hanging out with me for my like personality. Maybe they were too.
Damn, I just
You
had
know
that.
what?
It's almost
Yeah,
like you're trying to say that you could tell when someone was objectifying you.
exactly right.
Objectifying your
Yeah,
blackness by saying,
exactly,
"Oh, this object is rare to certain people, and it might get me clout, or
exactly,
it might make me
exactly.
appear cooler to certain people. So I'm gonna talk about the. I'm basically
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
objectify him. I don't know him as a person. I don't care. He's black, and people think that's cool. So
yeah.
I'm gonna.
Well, and
And
it was like, yeah,
you
I
can
was like,
sense
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not hard to tell. Like, I mean, maybe it wasn't high school just because like you don't think about that shit like
Yeah.
that deep because you're in high
Yeah.
school, right? But now that I'm older, I'm like, damn, like
You can
you know,
feel
like
it.
people, a lot of people are always like, oh, dude, you're so funny, like you're so cool, like whatever, like you know, it was like, oh yeah, he's like the cool, chill guy, right?
Yeah.
And then it was like, I get like some people where it was like, no, I was nice to everybody. I always like wanted to include everybody. Like
Yeah.
I was cool with the band kids. I was cool with the drama kids. Like I
Where do
bring
you
them over
feel
to my
that
house
comes
for
from?
lunch, right? And it was like I could tell those kids were like genuine too, because it was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, like this big black football player is like being nice to like the drama kids and the,
Yeah.
but like you know like they were actually welcoming. They were really cool, and it was like,
It was it's two. There's two lanes to a road. Where it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
they were also being cool and chill
yeah,
and inviting, and you were also being cool, chill, and inviting. So it created a good
yeah, and I could
relationship.
tell with those kids. It was even with those kids. Like I haven't seen or heard from them forever, but like I always remember those interactions with those kids. They
How
were
do
all
you
super
tell the
cool.
difference? How are you able to tell the difference?
Man, I feel like
You just know.
social media
You
too
just
has like
feel.
kind of,
It's almost like, because we are humans, we feel energetically. We're able to be in almost like intuitive with people's
Yeah.
like
Low key.
with people's intent.
Yeah.
And that's so then this takes me to my next thing. Like, did you say that you're a fan of Charlie Kirk?
Yeah, I liked honestly I did like Charlie Kirk.
So then what would you say about that? Like, do you feel like from your point of view you could feel his intent was good?
See, here's my thing, right?
Because I'll say this so that you don't feel uncomfortable talking about this.
No, you're fine.
Even though I'm not a fan of him, I totally respect someone that has a different, or I want to be understanding and respect what someone else feels.
Yeah.
Right. So don't feel uncomfortable that you can't go into why.
Oh no, I don't. Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm not a fan of him. Of like, maybe it's like now that I'm learning more about the different aspects of his whole career. Like he did do a lot of preaching, and so that's a separate thing. I think what I focus on the most are like political issues and how he handled them, and how he chose to talk about black problems
for sure
as a white man, but then say that he doesn't think he thinks empathy is a weakness or whatever he said. Like we shouldn't have empathy, but it's like, okay, then you can't speak on literally if you don't want to have love, understanding, and empathy towards a black person or black people, then you can't speak on any black issues if you're not coming from that place. If you're coming from a place of understanding, empathy, and trying to bridge gaps, then I feel like anyone should be able to talk about any issue if they're going in with I want to help, I want to love, I'm gonna help through this, even if it's like gonna set me back because I love and understand what you're going through.
No, 100%.
And that's
100%.
why I'm like, I'm getting to this point where it's like, hey, the spiritual church stuff, cool, like that's respectable. Politically, or even talking about black issues while simultaneously saying that he shouldn't have empathy, it's like, no, you shouldn't talk about. And so those are the reasons. And then I didn't like his style and stuff like that. But it's like, it's not from a place of hate or like just emotion. It's just like observation. So that's how I feel. So I guess what I'm trying to say is like, from my opinion, what I feel as a black man is that his intent might have been good, I guess, but I don't feel that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I don't feel like his intent was there to help black people. I feel like in a way he almost used talking about black people controversially and very passionately in his own way and in a condescending way was getting him views and clicks, and he just rolled with it. Because like, if talking about black issues wasn't popular, would he be talking about those things? And like, I personally feel like no, he wouldn't, and I guess we'll never know. But if I wanted to talk about white issues and white people and all these things, but then simultaneously be like, I don't have empathy, or I don't think we should have empathy, it's a weakness, that makes no sense. Then I shouldn't be trying to I shouldn't be trying to point out white people's flaws.
No, exactly.
And the things that they're doing if I don't at least understand where they're coming from, how they could look at it that way, and at least be like, hey, these are issues, but I understand the nuance behind why some of these things happen. He didn't do that, and that's my problem with it.
No, that's
and
totally fair.
I'll stand on that hill, and it's like, yeah, will that ruin my life? I'm gonna stand on it regardless. Like it's like almost like, I don't want to say like straight up, but it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to stand on what's right.
Yeah, of course.
And it's like, if the majority is saying that I'm wrong, it doesn't matter if I feel like this is wrong.
Yeah, stand on business.
Like if I feel like this is wrong for me, and people are coming at me. No one's actually coming at me. That's the thing. I'm just saying, if that
fight for what you believe in.
And it's like, did he do that? Was he doing that? Yes, but again, I feel like there was a lot of understanding and empathy that wasn't a part of his fighting for righteousness. It was more, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know it's a lot more nuanced, and like, I'm not trying to come off as like that, but still, it's like, nah, I'm not a fan of him. He wasn't empathizing. He wasn't bridging gaps with black people, but he wanted to come after and criticize black people. Automatically, it's better to just stick to, how about you help your people and help them be better, and we'll find someone that's willing and able to feel for black people and be willing to criticize them. That's gonna be me. No, I'm joking. Oh, go ahead.
No, man. First of all, let me just say, with that whole situation, like, no matter what you are, red, blue, green, purple, whatever, like, we don't. Violence is never the answer, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
what's this talk? Or like,
Facts.
you could state your opinion, like, but like, there's just never need for violence. Like,
Violence and hate, bro.
hate,
Yeah.
because like, you got to realize, like, Charlie had a family. I'm not like familiar with the names, but the people in Minnesota had families. Like,
Mhm.
all those people had families, and like, yes, they're in politics, and like, yes, it's a big deal, obviously, and stuff. But it's like, at the end of the day, they had families.
Mhm.
Like I don't know, like, just my opinion is like,
No, I feel that.
we gotta remember stuff like that, and we gotta like have
Yeah.
enough respect for each other, at least like to the point where it's like we don't have to like shoot and kill each other over
No,
opinions.
that's something
You know what I'm
I
saying?
can agree on.
Like,
'Cause,
that's
yeah,
like,
no, I get that.
and like, I'm not. I would say I definitely lean towards more right, but I'm not like full like MAGA and all that. But like, for sure lean towards more right. But like, I mean, I think both sides have great ideas, but it's like,
Yeah, I know
you
what
know,
you
like,
mean, though.
we should be like figuring out ways to like have both those sides great ideas to mesh them into one,
Yeah.
where it like benefits everybody.
Yep. And I'm
Like,
if I have enough influence and enough power, I will create my own party, and it's gonna be called the Socratic Party. Socratic.
oh, okay,
Solution based party.
okay.
Every issue is complex and nuanced. You can't solve every problem with one set of beliefs. You've got to
Think outside
understand
the
the
box.
data,
Yeah,
the emotion, and sometimes it's hard to understand or discern intent and emotions.
yeah, yeah,
But for the most part, data doesn't lie, and there's ways you can skew that.
yeah,
Literally,
yeah.
100 years ago, they lied about a lot of things in black biology, eugenics. People know about that. So it's like you can't trust everything. You've got to challenge. You've got to look. You got to have peer review studies. You
Yep,
got to
yep.
research and be mindful while doing it. And that's the Socratic Party. That's
Okay,
what
shout
I'm
out
starting.
Socratic, baby.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, no. To answer the Charlie question too.
Cause like
Yeah.
did you feel his? Do you feel like his intent? I guess like what you say, yeah. Do you feel like his intent was good and like, do you think it was progressive for black people?
I honestly, I think yes, but like you said, I just didn't love like how sometimes it could be condescending. I think he had the right message and like the right like way of like spreading it and all that, but I just think he could have been a lot better of just being like less condescending and just like giving these solutions and like more of like all right, let's give the solution now, let's like figure out a way like we can get like whoever's in presidency or whatever to like
And I'll give
help
you-
this problem out instead of like be like, oh, like, yeah, you're all like stupid and all that, which honestly, like, I will say,
Did you watch a lot of?
I did watch a lot of his videos.
Okay, then this would be a good question for you. And okay, so being adopted, do you feel like if you were adopted by Charlie Kirk and he was your dad,
Yeah,
would you feel comfortable with the things and the way that he was talking about black people?
I would say
And then
that's hard because it's like I don't know him personally, you know what I mean?
It's not
So
about
it's
that. I'm
like
talking about like
just off his videos and
let's
stuff.
just say that he raised you like your parents did, but then when he would go out
And talk like that.
talk like that,
Okay,
do you think
yeah,
that would,
yeah.
do you think that would affect the way you felt about him
Absolutely.
when you would come home?
Absolutely, because that's where I think, like, I like the messages he was sharing, and like I like the way he spread the gospel and stuff and talked about God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think some of this stuff where it's like, all right, bro, like you don't need to like be that condescending and stuff. But
Yeah.
in also fairness too, like people would like say shit to him first, and like he would just be in normal conversation, and like they would escalate it, and then like he would just hit him with jabs back. You know what I mean? So it's like I see his
see
side of
both
it. I see
sides.
both sides of it because like obviously like some of the shit he would say, like I understand why you're gonna go up and just call
Yeah.
him out and get angry, which I would do too. Like if I I had problems with that, and then but it's like, oh, like you're just gonna throw that jab at me, okay, I'll just throw one back at you. So it's like I see both sides, and that's where I'm like, I think it's fair. I do think he was like condescending a little bit with like some things, but then some things to where people are like, oh, that guy's like a dick or whatever. It's like, yeah, but like, how would you like it if someone said that to you, and like, how would you respond back to that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Just to me, like that's why I'm like, at the end of the day too, he was like just a peaceful protester, like or
Yeah.
not protester, but like a peaceful guy just spreading what he thought was right.
Or what do they call it? Political
Yeah,
activist.
yeah,
Like
political activist,
he
right?
wasn't hurting anybody
Yeah, yeah,
physically.
he wasn't hurting anybody physically. He wasn't like, I mean, yeah, he could be like degenerate, but like I've seen some of these other people, like you know what I'm talking about? What's his name? Like Myron. Have you seen Myron?
Mm-mm.
He's black and he's like Republican and stuff. Like,
Myron, does he have like a buzz cut?
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah.
and he like hella talk shit on black girls and
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, like he wasn't like that to that extreme. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm.
like, that's where I'm like, I mean, like you could debate it,
You can
but like,
debate it, but
but
I
like
see
you
what
know what I
you're
mean?
saying.
But like
Okay.
not like to the point like where how Myron is, or like how like like you could say like the tone and like the condescendingness like there was some there, but it wasn't like to that extreme. You know what I mean? And so like I agree. Like I agree with you with like there's ways he could have said things better, and
Do
there's
you
ways he
think
could have handled it better. But like I mean, we're human at the end of the day. It's like, and I do think he did say some good stuff. I just think maybe he could have said it in a better way and just gave more solutions than just like I guess like kicks on the dirt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. Well, hey, I appreciate the honesty. Because yeah, at the end of the day, I don't hate him. I always got to say this. Like, it's not about hating him. It's
Oh
more
yeah,
like,
no, you have your opinion. I
and
told you,
especially
yeah,
because he has so many clips, I can just go in and judge his clips, just like how
yeah.
he could in turn judge any clip I had that would go viral. That'd be great for me. But nah, but yeah, like yeah. At the end of the day, he was trying to solve issues his way,
Yeah.
and you know, I still feel. But yeah. Okay.
Well,
I
and
feel you
sorry,
there.
one more thing too. It's just like I don't know. For me too, like me kind of being in the middle and kind of like not really like being so heavy on one side too. It's
Yeah.
like you could say the same thing about people on the left too. Like
No,
you
facts.
have those clips that you could clip farm and stuff, and like they could be condescending too, you know, and like
Yeah.
with things, and like obviously people on the right can be condescending. It's just like this big cycle, right? It's like I understand like why people like you have every right, your opinion. You could be frustrated at Charlie, all that. But that kind of goes back to my point where it's like shit. Like I'm sure there's clips we could dig up on like Obama saying shit like
Mhm.
about things that like people would get pressed about, but it's like there's no need to like go kill somebody over that. Like
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to have like go to one of his things, call him out, cuss him out, like
Mhm.
that's fine, do that. But like just killing somebody over their opinion who has a family and two kids, it's like,
Mhm.
bro, like how would you like that if someone like you know like you're his kids, you like and you found out your dad died when you're like old enough to understand that, you
Mhm.
know what I mean? So like I'm like I guess like what I'm trying to say is I'm not really like I am a Charlie supporter in some things, but like at the end of the day, I'm more of just like like more of like a everybody just get along,
Yeah.
like and like if we all just got along, everything could go
Yeah.
so much smoother.
That
You know what I mean?
that's a good pivot that we can get into right now. So like everyone should get along, and it's all about like if we could have love and understanding and
Yeah,
empathy, the world would be a better place. And so it's just like for you and like your walk of life, how do you feel like we can make that possible? I mean, you might not have an answer, but
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like kind of what we talked about earlier. It's just like it could be as simple as just asking somebody how their day is, and they could be going through it and not just change. It could like maybe change like I don't know what those things are the word I'm trying to think of, but maybe it could like alter like something that happens in the future for them, where it's like, oh man, like nobody cares about me, nobody cares about how I'm doing. Maybe I'm just not better off in this world. And then all of
yeah,
a sudden you have somebody at the gas station going like, hey man, how's your day? Like I hope you're doing well. And it's like, oh shit, maybe someone does care about me.
yeah,
And then boom, like you just alter that person's future, and like who knows, maybe that like changes that trajectory and like they go onto a better path. It's just little stuff like that where it's like we kind of forget as humans because we get caught up in so much like just daily life, we tend to forget that like a simple like 5-10 words can like alter someone's future and like for the better, you know.
yeah.
So just stuff
I
like
feel
that,
that.
man.
That's good.
It doesn't have to be anything big because I feel like you know like realistically it's harder to do like the bigger thing pause harder to do like the bigger things like you know like you see on social media like people like buying like random people like PS5s and all that, which is great. Keep doing that. Like especially like for the kids and stuff that need to like spread that, keep doing that. But no, in the sense of like just like more realistic things that like a lot more people can do and can afford. Like it's free just to say, hey man, I hope you're having a great day. I love you. Like, or hey man, like hope everything's good, or like just checking in on people too.
Yeah.
You know, like at the end of the day, all that's free, and like all it costs is just like I guess like love and caring and personality.
Yeah.
So
Well, then I do have a question. So you're going to be a teacher?
yeah, hopefully
Do you have to
inspiring.
take a
Yes.
test or?
Yeah. So I think you have to take a test for your what you're majoring in, and then just like a teacher's exam.
How
Yeah.
far are you from that?
I'm getting close. Yeah, I'm like a year out, basically, close to
Okay.
there. Yeah.
What do you want to teach, or what are you going to teach?
I'm figuring it out right now. Hopefully, either history, sports psych, or the mix of both. But
Okay, so
yeah,
history is a good one.
yeah.
What do you think about history in America then with like, there's a lot of like, I've seen a lot of videos about white nationalists, like Christian nationalists and stuff like that. And, you know, in a way, Charlie was about that. But like, if you go, if you do the numbers and like, I'd have to pull up some studies and stuff like that. But from what I've seen, a lot of like Christian nationalism and all that has a lot of deep rooted like white supremacy and
Hmm.
racism in that. And I don't know if you know anything about that, but how does that affect us now? Or I don't even know what I'm trying to ask,
No,
but like,
I get what you're trying to.
do you
Yeah.
believe that that's true, or that that
I
exists? Have you seen
I
any of
honestly
that?
believe in like some ways, yes. Yeah, like like what's funny too is I was just having this conversation yesterday. Can't remember. I think it was with either my wife or somebody, but we were just talking about like how schools don't talk enough about like I guess like slavery and just like stuff like that, like things where it's like you think about it, right? Like they don't really talk a ton about like stuff America has done that isn't great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a lot of it's like
A lot of it's
positive.
a lot of it is Fire Nation
Yeah,
type shit.
fire. Oh, that's fire. Okay. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, low key it is, bro. Like it's like you really think about it, like in history classes and like in schools, it's like we learn about a lot of great things America did, and we never like really get into like or get into a lot of detail of like the the shitty things they did with like slavery, like Japanese concentration camps and just stuff like that, where it's like obviously like they still bring it up and stuff, or we wouldn't know about it, but they still bring it up and like, but
They
it's not
just
really like
it's
into
almost
detail. You know what I
yeah,
mean? It's like versus like the things where it's like, oh yeah, America did this, and it's like so great. Like we're
yeah.
gonna, you're gonna have a whole unit on it. Versus like, oh yeah, like slavery. Here's like
They
3 weeks,
they
2 weeks of
raped,
it.
pillaged, and
Yeah,
killed a lot of indigenous
yeah, and
people.
that's
And
it. And that
they lied on the treaties and stuff. They don't really talk about that. They
no,
just say, oh, they were
yeah,
conquered. They
yeah,
want. It's like, no, they lied. They said, oh yeah, we're not gonna touch this
no,
land.
literally,
Right while they're asleep, they go in and
yeah,
bag
yeah.
them up, and it's just like, damn, that's
And like
crazy.
we don't really get in a lot of detail. And obviously, like I'm grateful to be in America. Like
No, for sure.
amazing country. Have like we can do shit like this, speak on it. But yeah, dude, it's just like I don't know. Like you don't like again when you're in high school, it's like you don't really think about that shit. You're just like I'm just trying to get a grade. But then
Yeah.
like you kind of like grow out of it, grow
See,
up, and you're
that's
just like
I think that's
shit.
part of the problem is because the education system is, uh, what do they call it? Grade based
Yeah, grade based. Yeah,
or
or
like results
I don't
based, where it's
know
like
the exact
you're
word,
not
but
trying to learn
no,
intuitively.
you're just trying to get your
You're
grade
just
and
trying to get
get
the
in.
grade to
Yeah,
pass because you know that in order to go to college, you got to pass. You got to get a
exactly.
D. You
And
got
that's
a
why I think they
degree.
also can like get away with not talking about that stuff as much because like at the end of the day, it's like parents, kids, like
They
they just
just
want their kid to pass or
they want
like
their
they
kid to
just want to
pass because
pass.
that looks good in society. It's not
Exactly.
about them learning and
No,
having depth to them, learning
no.
emotional intelligence. It's literally, oh, pass these grades so you can go to college and get a good job and take care of your family.
Oh yeah,
But
that's
the tough part is like when you feed into that system of just do this and you'll be okay, and you're not really taking a wider lens to see that there's
no.
bigger issues. Like for you, you didn't realize there were bigger issues outside of the toxic religious drama we have in Utah until
Exactly.
you went out and said,
Until
"Oh,
I
there's
went
shit
out.
that's going
Yeah,
on."
yeah.
There's people that are struggling, that are coming from other countries to live here, or that live here and are going through hardships.
No, 100%.
Well, then,
100%.
what do you feel like about that in America? Do you feel like we, with all the greatness, I think the hard thing is when people hear us say, or when people hear someone say, there needs to be change, there are things that are wrong, it's almost like they think you're ungrateful and they think that there is nothing wrong.
Yeah.
But it really is almost like a Fire Nation type of situation where we're all, or the people that are speaking out and talking about it, were Prince Zuko.
Yeah.
Zuko
And look at him,
lived
he got
that
banished.
shit.
Yeah.
Zuko said, "Nigga, I've been through this bitch and it's wrong. What we're doing is wrong." And everyone's like, "Oh, Zuko over here.
He's my favorite
The
character.
prince
too.
over here is
favorite
ungrateful
character.
for the Fire Nation and all our beautiful." And it's like, nah, it's not about that, bro. Sees what they're doing and that it's wrong, and it doesn't matter whether or not we're trying to spread the goodness of the Fire Nation to the whole world if it's still wrong.
Well, you know what's funny about that is, shout out Zuko, favorite character. Trying to get it out of him. Let me know. But it's funny because he was so loyal and so like with the Fire Nation at the start that it's like he wasn't thinking clearly, and like he kind of was just like going through the motions.
He was thinking based off of the programming.
Yeah, the programming they gave him.
Yeah.
Right, and then he's like, he kind of finally starts to get out of that and starts to realize, wait.
And you know what's crazy?
The Fire Nation's assholes. Like, we're not supposed to be doing this.
And he really didn't realize it until he started having experiences talking to other people.
Exactly.
Like, he was on his little boat trying to find the Avatar with his Fire Nation crew, his tribe, and it was still like he was still in that. And then once he started to have to travel, he started having talks with the Avatar, with Aang and Katara, and like seeing all these things, he got
away from it and had
he started to doubt, like, damn, what are we doing?
Yeah, like, and you like saw the effects of it too.
Yeah,
and like he kind of being able to, I guess, like you said, like get away from it and just see the effects it has on other people, kind of probably open his eyes, and also just have him like, shout out Uncle Iroh, one of the best characters ever written.
He's one of my favorite.
Oh yeah, like having someone like that to like guide him or like kind of show him like, hey, there's more to this than you think, or more to the world than you think, and we're low key not the good guys.
See, and that's like, the problem is that like Uncle Iroh was banished too by his brother.
Yeah, and
like I think that's what happens a lot of times is that people don't want to be.
Uncle
People want to act like Uncle Iroh and like think that shit's cool until it's reality.
Yep.
The Uncle Iroh life isn't for the weak.
No,
it's not for the emotionally weak, the mentally weak. You got to be willing to give up a image of perfection, an image of I'm doing great, for everyone looking like you're the crazy traitor.
Yep.
To stand up for what's right, and that shit's harder than we think, and that's why I go back to the Charlie Kirk thing, where it's like, I don't know, it's almost like the way that it works. If history repeats itself, you're not meant to be loved if you're doing what's right in a world of evil.
Oh yeah,
I don't know. I mean, it's like I can contradict myself because people can hate. They hated on Charlie, obviously, and that's he had his haters or whatever. So I guess I won't even go there. What I will say is like, it sucks that we don't have a lot of Uncle Irohs in the world of the older generation helping the Gen Z. It just feels like everyone's against the younger generation because they're starting to question, and everyone before them's like, why are you trying to question? It's worked. It's been working. And it's like, no, it's worked for you.
Years, yeah.
It worked for years and it worked for you, but it's not working for us.
It's fire. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like being a Prince Zuko and an Uncle Iroh it's not hard. Yeah, it's a hard.
It's
life.
funny you say that too, because shout out Anson. Me and Anson were talking, and it was just like we kind of were just talking about like that Utah bubble and kind of how. I mean, yes, it's the younger generation in a way, but it's really not. Like, it's the beliefs the parents are like kind of forcing on them or like kind of like making them live, where it's like, oh yeah, like if that person has tattoos, they are horrible, or if that person drinks a beer, he's a shitty dude, or if like I don't know, or if like that person over there, he looks like he's smoking a cigarette, so like stay away from
Yeah.
that guy. You know, he could probably give you cancer. Like, it's just the dumbest shit. And it's like you meet a lot of these people, and you're kind of like, wait, this guy's so cool. Or like,
Yeah.
bro, like a lot of the people I met or like have known in my life are like those type of people. They're the coolest people. Like
Yeah.
the guy with all the tats, some of the coolest. Like no, tiny guy with tons of tats. Like
Yeah.
they're the coolest people. Or the guy that smokes the cigarette, the guy that like drinks the
Has
beer.
lived some life.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
like
you
I
gotta
don't know their
embrace.
personal
You gotta
life.
embrace. It's almost like you gotta embrace diversity. Not.
Yeah,
It's really you gotta embrace diversity.
yeah, and like I didn't know them personally, so like I don't want to speak on their personal life, but like just like when I met them and how I know of them, those are some of the coolest people
Yeah.
I've ever met, and like they were cooler than the people I went to church with, or I went like had those judgments of the other people,
And it's
and it's
probably
like
maybe it comes from like they're willing to be real and tell you how it
yeah,
is.
they're like there's not that
They're
fake
not
self
hiding
righteous
anything.
judgment.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
not hiding
yeah.
anything, hiding their own intentions, their own
No, they're
beliefs.
just real. They're real with you at the start, and it's like
And yeah, it's just tough. But yeah, the Fire Nation and like that whole Avatar thing, it really is just what we're going through now, where it's like we are a great country, we have a lot of great things, but I feel like we've been like almost developing a lot of pride
yeah,
to where it's blinded us
blind us.
from like the truth.
Yeah, and that's where it comes back to me. In my opinion, that's where it comes back to like if I'm just talking like both sides of people and just like any type of political party, like whatever you want to say, like call it. If we all just like are willing just to like mesh our ideas, like give up like compromise is about give and take, right? If we're all willing to just to compromise and like being willing to just listen, or like at least we don't even have to compromise, but at least like just being civil and like being willing to like be open to new ideas on both sides and like whatever else parties there are, like you know,
Yeah,
it's
and
like
that,
I feel like that's where the problem lies. Is
the
it's like
problem lies
too much left, too much right,
too
or
much radicalized
radical, yeah.
ideas.
Like it's like why can't we just all like try and do it together? Like
Be
why are we doing it
flexible, be
separate?
open,
Yeah,
be willing to
yeah,
like hear and know it's okay to have a different point of view or world view, but that doesn't mean that's the only right way. That's what the Socratic,
yeah,
so the Socratic party is about finding solutions and being open to all possibilities. And like, man, it's hard because it's hard to love someone that has a very different worldview than you,
mm-hmm,
especially if it's like one where you can see it from the outside of like that's a very harmful thing
yeah,
if you
yeah,
think about it. Like people who are just rooting on ICE and supporting ICE, if you really think about how many immigrants are really here like as criminals, it's a very low number
very
to
low
what they
number.
do
Yeah,
and help America with. And it's like anyone that supports ICE it's almost like my first thing is always to be like, oof, I got to be careful.
yeah, yeah,
Because that, I don't know how, that sounds, I guess that sounds shallow, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like they're just not willing to be open and understanding. I don't know. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I get what you're saying.
it's
And
like you're talking to a rock, bro.
Yeah.
It's like you can have all the money in the world, you can be so smart, but like being emotionally aware and empathetic is such a unique and invisible superpower that people who don't have it don't realize the importance of it. I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, I agree with that, and that's the thing where I agree with you as well. Like I have some family members that like are super, right, like all that, and like, you know, it's hard because it's like like I don't want to like call them out or anything because like I'm not necessarily calling
You don't have
them
to say
out.
their name. You should
Yeah.
just talk about the
Yeah,
actions and
yeah.
how it made
I'm
you
not
feel.
necessarily calling them out necessarily, but
Mhm.
it's just like, yeah, like like my belief honestly too is like because I know people that like got here legally and like
Mhm.
came here legally, and so I do think it's kind of unfair to them
Mhm.
because they had to work hard, they had to like wait, and like they got, and then like I don't know, it's hard because it's like then you see like these videos of these kids and like so like you're so conflicted, it's like such a
Mhm.
hard situation. It feels like a non-win-win
Mhm.
situation because it's like I know some of those families that like work so hard to get here and do it the right way that like and then they just kind of like and then I've heard their frustrations about it where it's like how it's not fair that like I did all this work, I waited whatever, like
See,
years,
and the only
X
thing I'll
amount of
challenge,
years. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
no, and that's totally valid. The only thing I'll challenge on that it's hard for me, and I don't have all the right angles and bulletproof. This is just me talking as a human,
No, for sure, for sure, for
with
sure.
some empathy, I guess. We it's almost like we as humans, or the people who've already set the system up, have programmed us to view things as right and wrong, and
Oh, 100%,
we're
100%.
not even looking outside of ourselves to really handle the case as human to human interaction. So like, what is the right way? Why is that the right way?
Yeah, why is that
Like,
exactly
oh,
right?
what's
Right?
like they had to wait, and that's very admirable and honorable that they waited, they paid the money, they came over that way. But and that took a lot of hard work and sacrifice. But so does crossing terrains and people swimming across and this
No,
and
for
that.
sure.
And it's
Yeah,
like,
that's where
even
I'm like,
people
it's
that are
so
in the
hard.
LDS
Yeah.
church, they didn't just give their passports here when they got here. They came over here and walked their asses all the way through the Oregon Trail, and people
No,
died along the way.
100%,
And
100%.
they really worked hard to get here. And it's like, I don't know, they're both like,
They're both right in a way.
and if you think of it as a
Yeah.
human thing, that nothing is ours.
Yeah.
If you think of the earth as just a place that we live on, and that there is no boundaries, then it's like both ways are right. I don't know. I don't know what
No,
I'm trying to say.
I
but like,
agree. I agree
it's
with you
just
too
more
on
like,
that. Yeah.
it's so sad to know that these are issues that we're going through now with, like, oh, passports, and we need to know, and this and that, when we just they just determined that
Yeah.
on their
No,
own.
and that's
And I'm
funny
not
you
trying to
say
be
that. No,
yeah,
no, of course.
yeah,
I get what you're saying. And that's where I'm like, that's where I'm conflicted with it, because I'm like you said, it's the law, you know?
yeah,
And so it's like, I don't agree with the way they do it. I think that's terrible the way they do it.
yeah,
Like, just dragging families. I don't get me started on that.
yeah,
But, because it's hard, because, like, I know those people that, like, did it the right way, and they waited and they worked their ass off to
yeah,
get to that point. And then, like, I understand, obviously, too. It's like, oh, like, I'm coming from a war-torn country where, like, they literally would have killed me and my family.
yeah,
Like, I gotta go somewhere where it's safe. So, like,
yeah,
I just feel like, well, I'm kind of with you. It's just like one of those situations where it's like such like a lose-lose on both sides, where it's like we just gotta figure out a way to like work together to find a better solution.
yeah,
Because I just feel like, obviously, like, the right is like, get them out of here, get them out of here, and the left is like, let everybody in. And it's like, I like understand both sides of it. That's why I'm so conflicted with it, because it's like, obviously, like, I want people to come here and feel safe, because like that shit's scary, bro. Like, knowing your family and you could die at any moment,
yeah,
and like, of course you're gonna get away from that. I would get away from that, you know. And then it's just hard when I see these other people too. They're like, it's so unfair that I had to wait this long when I could have just came in. And so it's like, I don't know. I just feel like we just need to figure out a way to like make it work, make it like a better system or something, like, to make it work. Because like, I'm with you. Like, I just feel like it's so hard.
Like, even
it's
what I'm
so
saying,
hard.
it can be it sounds naive, and I don't even know what I'm trying to get at, but I feel like there's a better way.
Oh, for
And
sure
it
than
probably
this.
comes
Like,
from like, I'm reading this book called All About Love, by Bell Hooks. This black lady, she died like 3 years ago, or not 3 years, but she died. I don't know. I don't even know why I had to go into
you're
that
good.
much deeper.
You're
I'm
good.
reading this book called All About Love, and it's really changing my perspective on how I'm trying to approach issues. And it's like, I want to approach every issue with the love ethic of like loving humans. God says love the sinner, not the sin, or whatever. But it's like, what does that look like? And like, how do we implement that on a bigger scale to help solve these type of issues?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think the problem is there isn't enough love and empathy and understanding and communication. Because like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of wasteful resources. I think America wastes a lot of money, a lot of resources on politicians and random things that don't pertain to the like progression of humanity, or just like keeping humans safe and
Yeah.
providing
Yeah.
a
I
healthy
agree with that
life.
100%.
We're all about like profit margins, numbers, and advancements technologically, and those are all great, but it's like those are all an extension of humans. Like we're not taking care of our souls as
No,
humans.
no.
You know what I mean?
It's like you have to sell your soul to be able to like to be able to
To live. No, for
Like
real.
you low key have to sell your soul. Like
We
it sounds
literally
terrible, but you do.
we pay
Like
for everything, bro.
yeah,
Like it's just crazy, and it maybe sounds privileged, but it's like no one can be left alone or helped or supported through resources. Like there's so many times, and maybe I got to start making content about these things, but there's been so many progressive activists. Is progressive mean left? I don't. I'm just trying to say people that are trying to
yeah.
to progress humans and like create education and resources to help people thrive that have been killed. Like there's this dude that had this Black Panther chapter in I think Chicago or something like that. I forgot his name, but he he was trying to create resources for the people and free lunch for people and like putting all these things together to help his community thrive, and he was killed by Chicago police in his sleep.
Hmm.
And it's like, why was he killed? And me and Anson talked about it. If they can change your perception, the context, it'll give internal permission to let those things happen. So in this situation, they changed the public's perception on this man as a radical, terrorist, that he's doing bad things in propaganda and in the public. So the public was able to change how they felt internally because they saw that this man seems dangerous. So they
Yeah.
were able to change the perception of the people, and they changed the context of his workings, of him trying to put free lunch together, provide resources for his community and help his people thrive. They changed that context to that he's a criminal. He's doing all these things that are hurting our government, and it probably was hurting the government and their flow of income.
Absolutely, yeah.
So they changed the perception of the public, then the context of what he was doing. So it gave the government permission through the public's internal permission to go and kill him and then wipe it as like, oh, we're saving America. And I feel like that happens a lot. That like when people stand up for what's right and trying to help people and be solution based and bridging gaps, those people always get killed.
I gotta disagree with you. You're right on that. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Like I'm not great with this type of stuff with just like background stories and stuff and like certain people. But like shit, I mean, like damn near every year there's like somebody I feel like that's close to finding cure for cancer. They end up dead.
Yeah.
Or like just stuff like that where it's like stuff that would like hurt the government
profit
or
margins
profit margins
and money.
And like like stuff where it's like you have to get chemo and all that money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like I agree with you, and I think like
when we're always trying to put humans first,
yeah,
it's someone dies. But if we put America first, and that's what's included in America is the government, that's included in putting America first. Politicians are a part of the government.
Yeah.
The rich are part of the government in the ways of lobbying and stuff like that. So like if there's a lot of money flowing in for them, they're okay with it. Mm-hmm. But as soon as it's like finding ways to lower inflation, lower taxes for the people so that they can have happy, healthy lives, as soon as we start doing stuff like that, that it's like, oh, we're not doing this for any monetary gain. We're just doing this to those ideas always get packed.
Yeah.
Packed up and folded.
They do. It's crazy too, because like you learn about like propaganda and you learn about all that type of stuff.
You can keep talking.
Oh no, you're good. You learn about that type of stuff all through high school and college and all that. You like get a more deeper understanding with it and stuff. But it's just like low key, like a lot of the shit like that we have, or like I guess like when we like do the elections and we do stuff like that. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like Hitler propaganda, but it's like it's low key, subtle, like bro. It's like subtle propaganda where you're like you don't even think about it, and then you kind of like I don't know, like you'll kind of just think about it one day, and you're like, oh yeah, that was like whatever that commercial was or whatever that, and it's just like it's like slow little things like that where it's like it's not necessarily like extreme propaganda, but it's just like kind of subtle, you know.
And
And you're just like,
this
damn.
made me think of something exactly of what you're saying. It's they keep it subtle because we are going to blow it out of proportion, or we will make it come true or big. Just like how
Exactly.
like you were adopted, and the subtle nuance of your parents not saying certain things deeply impacted your overall experience of being an adopted child.
No, literally, yeah.
And it's like it would only take 2 or 3 or 4 subtle like words, and it would have altered your life.
No, literally,
And like people, I don't think people realize how small they just have to subtly change certain things, certain perceptions, certain contexts to create big effects.
No, literally.
It's like the ripple effect.
No,
like,
it's literally it's the
do
ripple. I was
something
about
small,
to say
and then
ripple
everyone
effect, man.
will make it blow it up.
Yeah.
And I think,
So no, I agree with you on that. Like, I don't know. I it's hard because it's like I'm not like a super like mega political person. Like I follow it a little bit, but like not enough to like be an expert. But
I'm not either.
yeah, it's like it's like some of those things. Like it's just like everyday life too, where it's like you see some of this shit and you're just like, damn, like this low key's kind of propaganda, and like you just like
my thing always goes back to like, there's a couple of things I always think, or I think often about what do we do about it, like what can be done.
No, literally,
because some people just decide this is how it's gonna be. It's too messed up for things to change, so you just have to accept it. And it's like, damn, if we only truly live once on this earth, why would I spend my life trying to integrate into a system that doesn't want or promote the best for me? They only want or promote the best for me when they benefit. And it's like, what kind of relationship is that? Would you be okay being in a relationship where you actively know this person doesn't care for you, doesn't care for how you feel, doesn't care for your life being,
it's just their needs,
unless you're meeting their needs or you're contributing to them?
Yeah,
that's literally an abusive relationship. That's like
low key. It is, and
bro. It sucks that like people don't see it like that because they might be getting their needs met, and that's like part of where maybe white privilege.
Like she got that BBL.
Yeah, like or like white privilege is an example of like, you may not be doing anything to receive these benefits, and you don't see where these benefits are having a big effect in your life, but they're there, and you're not willing to change them because why do I need to change them? I don't see them. And why would I change them? Because I don't benefit. And it's like, that's messed up. Pretty privilege. Where it's like someone that's very attractive and can use their attractiveness to get what they want.
Literally OnlyFans.
Yeah. And it's like, man, I don't know. And I don't even know where I was going with that. But I don't like when people say, oh, yeah, but that's always been a thing. Or that's been a thing since the dawn of man. And it's like, just because it's been a thing,
why can't we change it?
Just because it's normal doesn't mean that it's right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't know. That's my thing, is like, just because something's been going on for a while, or that's just the way things are right now, it's like, why can't you change it?
Well, that's the thing. I think people just get too comfortable, so they're too scared to speak up. So that it's like, why would I want to change? I'm comfortable. Or like, why would I like want to risk anything? I'm comfortable where I'm at.
If we take it back to the Avatar, it's like, why would I want to risk joining Zuko? Or like, I'm cool just going to school.
Yeah, I'm cool being part of the Fire Nation. I'm like, we have a great thing going on. We're like,
for real, like, I'm benefiting from this. Like, I'm benefiting. I don't gotta worry. Yeah, I'm at peace. And literally, it's like, damn, you're not like, man. That's how it's like can get you down a slippery slope of you really just. You're not even attached to humans. Like, you're more.
I feel like you're attached to like the routine
and the idea, or even the image that.
Yeah, the image too.
Your ideas or the tribe around you portray, I guess, you know.
No, it's fire.
That's the same thing with like Black culture. Some people only attach themselves to Black culture because of the image
and the coolness,
the coolness, all the good things attached to it. So I'm gonna join this too, because I benefit. But it's like, is the current Black culture benefiting your people as a whole, or it's just because it's benefiting you?
Exactly.
It's like, it's cool that like gang. It's cool for me to be. It's cool for me to be on this shit with my boys because we feel cool.
6'7", you know.
No, for real. I don't know, but we're coming to an end.
Cool, man.
But I appreciate you for coming on.
I appreciate
man.
you having me, bro.
That was tough. That was tough, bro.
Nice, bro. Man, that's not a fire pod. Shout out the pod, man.
Yeah,
And
we're gonna
thanks
have
for
to have
having
you
me
on.
on, man.
Maybe we'll have to do another one with like another guest. I don't have money right now to really have a quick turnaround time on editing for 3 people. That's why I only do 2 right now.
Nah, you're good, man.
But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. You know,
For sure.
And I hope I hope the podcast goes somewhere. Well, to end it, I'll just say for anyone who's still listening, you know, I'm grateful for you being here, listening, and I hope you got something out of this. I definitely learned a lot. But what is one thing that you would want people to know about you? Or let me see if I have a good question.
Nah, you're good,
I'm trying to figure out like how to end it because like right now
Hey.
all of my podcasts end just it just cuts.
Cuts up. Yeah. No, you're good,
Okay.
man.
What about this? Out of all the things we talked about, you know, being adopted, and the bubble, what is one thing that you would want people to know about your experience?
Just in Utah or like
Just
experience?
in Utah, being adopted. Because I think that's a good topic. In Utah is like kids that are and we can even keep it to being adopted and being black and adopted in Utah. What is one experience that you would want people to know? Or one thing you would
all y'all listening out there, I would just say like don't be afraid to be yourself, man. Don't try and fit in. Don't try and do what's the popular thing. Like, I know it sounds corny, but just be who you are. Be true to who you are. That doesn't matter what you are, what you love. I feel like a lot of people nowadays, it's just like they have to fall into this certain norm or they have to fall into this, I guess, like trying to fit in. But it's like, nah, man, what makes you unique about you is you. Like, your passions, your hobbies, your things. So, like, at the end of the day, whether you're adopted, whether you're just somebody listening, whether you're black, whether you're white, all that, it don't matter. Like, at the end of the day, stay true to who you are. Stay true to your I guess like your, what's the word I'm looking for?
To yourself?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, to yourself or to your beliefs. Thank you. To your beliefs. And yeah, man, like at the end of the day, man, like there's only one you. There's only one you put on this earth. So live that life, live it with love, live it with gratitude. And then on the flip side of that, when it comes to accepting people, man, let's just be accepting, man. We don't need black, we don't need white, we don't need these like things. They're like we talked about, like they define us, like they're like a specific trait, but they don't have to define us. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to separate us. They don't have to make us feel like, oh, we can't be with other people because of their this color or whatever. It's like, nah, man, like let's all work together. Let's all be one. Let's all be united. And let's just accept each other, man. Because at the end of the day, love will always drive out hate. Hate can't last forever if there's more love.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it, man.
That's the bar. Well, I appreciate you for coming on, bro.
No, I appreciate you for having me, man.
Thank you guys for tuning in this time. I'm getting better at trying to figure out an outro, but until next time.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
Oh, like and subscribe, to the Village Podcast. Yeah. But all right.
Cool, man.
Sounds good.